All right, so I've got the file open here, and you can quickly see we got our one layer here with our UVs. Now don't mess with the position, just leave it where it is. All we wanna do is add in another layer, and I'm gonna drag that layer beneath it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and fill this layer with black. We're gonna go ahead and fill that in with black. All right, so once you have that filled in black, now we can basically build whatever you want on top, basically. So you can put some text. Just for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna throw some text in there. And then like I threw the Octane logo and the Blender logo in there. Again, they're just whatever little PNG images. That's basically all they are. So let's just go ahead and I'm going to quickly show you the first one and then I'll speed through the rest. So I'll go ahead and make a new layer, and I'm gonna put that layer on top of the very top layer. And then I'm gonna come in here, use white, okay, because it's gonna be our mask for our text color. I'm gonna grab my text tool and I'm just gonna come in here, drag that open like that. And then I already got my text. You can choose whatever font you want to use, right? So I got that going here, but again, I need to make sure it's white. Okay, I'm coming here, select my text color. There's white, and then hit OK. And then you need to make sure you line it up properly. The more time you spend lining this up, the better it's going to, less work we're going to have to do inside of Blender. Again, you just have to imagine that square exactly where it will be the top keyboard. Again, a little bit kind of tough to figure it out, but you'll get it. It's very easy. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and press scale up my text just a little bit more something like that. Okay, I like that. And then I'm just going to kind of center that up where I think it is. I'll eyeball it, repeat there, just drag this over here, add in your next text, whatever you want it to be. I'm just going to do a K here, for example. Actually, no, I'm not going to go 1. I'm going to do P. Let's go ahead and delete that. I'm going to go P. Okay, I got the P there. I'm going to come back to my other one. I'm going to change it to a 1 polygon with me. So there's my 1, there's my P. I think P, I have 2 P's in there selected. Delete one of those P's. Boom. Repeat. And I'm going to slide this one over. 1 polygon. I'm going to put a W with this on this one here. And again, the W is not showing, so I might need to open up my text box a little bit. There it is. And that one is definitely a little bit larger. So I'm going to probably have to, I know I'm going to have to make this one smaller as far as font. So you're going to have to do all that nice little nitpicking at the font to get it in position. This part takes the most time. This is probably the most time consuming part of the whole project, and getting them all to be lined up straight. So what was the size on that I just did? That was 153. So I'm going to just round it off to 150 and then go back to these other two and go 150. And then kind of using the intelligent guides here a little bit to kind of line things up a little bit. Just like kind of snapping. See how that's kind of snapping too. So I kind of use that as my general guide. And let's do one more letter here, and then I'm going to jump into Blender and show you how we put this together. Hold down Shift, just slide it over, kind of get that right there. M, we'll do an M on that one with me. Obviously I need to fix that because it already shifted, so kind of center that up. Boom. Quickly, just for the sake of this video here, let me go ahead and zoom out. So that's what we got going. Now you got to make sure that you hide this layer here. Boom. So that's all we want. So when we bring that into Octane, I'll show you what it's going to look like. Export it. I'm just going to do, matter of fact, I don't even need to do the export. Just save it, the Photoshop file. Okay, save it where you know where it's going to be. I'm going to say keys. Boom, there it is. And then what I do is I minimize it. I don't even close it. I minimize it, and then I jump back into Blender. We're going to fire up Octane. Make sure you got your Octane thing ready to go. I got everything set. I'm going to go into the shader. And then I'm going to go and click on my keys, make sure we're on the right one. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a base material. I'm going to fire up the render, go ahead and bring in a RGB image, plug that into the color, into the albedo, load up that Photoshop file. I'm just literally going to load in the Photoshop file. I go to here and there it is, keys PSD Photoshop file. I'll hit open and then boom, there it is. Our letters are right there on top. Okay, I'm going to kill my camera. It's going to kill my screen here. Boom. So we got our letters here on top. And again, I probably would make them a lot smaller. That's a little bit big, but you know, this is just to show you. Now it is black and that's white. So what we want to do, we need to mix them to give ourselves some colors and options right here. So I'm just going to drag this out. And then all I'm going to do is just grab the same thing, Shift D, bring it over. I'm going to bring in a mix material. So we're mixing two materials. I'm going to plug this into the secondary material. And then I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a color and let's just say green, fire up the render. And there it is. Boom, we got this, but it's mixing 100% even. And now you can see our thing. So what I'm going to do is detach this. Okay, now we lose it because we're mixing the colors evenly here. Bring this full screen because I hate working like that. I'm gonna use this as my mask. Again, we got white here. As a matter of fact, just to show you, we're gonna go red here. We want a mask. I'm gonna put this into the amount, and then I'm actually gonna change this gamma to 1. It doesn't really matter because we're dealing with black and white values, but I just do it out of habit. And then I'm actually gonna change these to GGX and GGX energy preserve. Okay, and then let's fire it up. Boom, and there it is. So you've got your text on the top with the mask, the Photoshop file, and then down here you can change whatever colors you want to do, whatever combination you want to do for your keyboard setup. Right there it is. That's how you would set that up. Super easy. Okay, now what I did was I opened up the board UV export, and this is where we would go ahead and add in our logo. Same process. You would just add in your text wherever you want, and this, again, using this as our border, as our guide. I would just bring in some text. Let me go ahead and quickly grab a text box, and again, get a new layer. Have my layer up on top. Make sure your text is going to be white, and I'll just drag my text box here and just say, you know, quickly text something here. And I don't know why I can't select that R over there. All right, so then I got a quick little bit of text here. Again, placing that text on top. And then you're gonna have to, again, you know, size it up, going back and forth between Octane and whatever Photoshop or whatever you're using to get your image to get it proper, right? Just kind of getting your placement set up is the whole deal. Like I said, this is the most time consuming part. And again, make sure we have another layer added on there. We need our black bordered layer. Put that layer on the very bottom, select that, come in here, fill it with black. Okay, that's what I got going, and I'm gonna hide that and then go ahead and save it. I'll save as board, jump back into Octane. And now what I'm gonna do here, quickly just turn that off, and I'm gonna click on the board, add in a new material, and then just repeat that whole setup. But what I'm gonna do is, just to save time, I'll go back to material number 1, back to our original material, copy this whole setup, copy it, go back to our next material, go back to this material here on the board, just delete this and paste. So we don't have to do it twice. We already have the setup ready to go. Plug this in, come in here, change your mask to our other mask here, which we're gonna have to load in. Load in the board Photoshop, open that, there it is. And then again, on the color here, we'll just see. Let's come in here, fire up the render. All right, and then there's our color section up there on the top. So again, obviously we can change that up. Maybe we wanna just do something like, we'll do this text black, whatever color scheme you want. And then, you know, your keyboard can be a totally separate color, right? Like blue or something, right? This is just to quickly show you. So boom. Now, again, you'll have to see, you can see that like here on the top, it's a little bit too high. So check this out. All we do is we come back into Photoshop, grab my text, and I'll actually go ahead and turn my layer back on too so we can see that. And then all I'm gonna do is just slowly bump it down, like maybe something like that, right? Then just save this file, save your Photoshop file, just come back over to Octane, turn off the render, turn it back on, and then boom, it makes the update right there. You can even see like it's showing the lines because I didn't mute that layer. I didn't hide that layer. So again, go back to Photoshop, make sure you also hide that layer, go ahead and save it, jump back to Octane, turn off the render, turn it on, boom, and there it is. Made the adjustments, super easy. So that's basically setting up the materials. Go ahead and get your materials how you want them and have everything all set up. And then next we'll get into setting up some lights.